Well, hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the Beach Bros Wrestling Podcast.
Bbwp.
Put some respect on our name.
I mean, if you don't, you're kind of crazy because this is
Exactly.
about to be the new and hottest wrestling podcast. Wrestling YouTube channel, TikTok, anything you want, we got it, don't we?
No question about it, my friend. Now, you probably have never seen our faces before, or maybe you have. We do have a nice foundation of followers, but if you don't know who we are, allow us to introduce ourselves a little bit. My name is Matt. I go to school at Coastal Carolina University. I am very much around the beach, and I love just hanging out there all the time.
My name is Hunter. I go to App State, so we're kind of rivals, if you know, a little small town in Boone, North Carolina. And I also happen to go to the beach a lot. Matter of fact, profile picture was taken at my beach place. So
That's right.
Bbwp makes their appearances at the beach.
That's right. We do get our ways around there all the time, and we really enjoy it. So, but as you know, the W in BBWP stands for wrestling, and that's what we're here to discuss. For today is the very first episode of the BBWP. Hunter, I cannot be more excited. How are you feeling?
You know, people in the comments and watching this video will not understand the level of excitement that I feel right now. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Considered transferring to Coastal Carolina just for this podcast, but we figured it's sun out early in the summer, and now we're thinking about doing it, and I can't be more excited to express my wrestling knowledge and opinions on a platform with people that hopefully appreciate it.
Me either, my friend. I think we're in for one hell of a ride here, and the best part is it's our first episode. So we get to look back on this
episode
in a few years, 10 years. We'll
10
get to look back
years?
at this. This is where the start all began, and honestly, I think that's super exciting. But we do have a lot to offer for you guys, and we won't spill all the beans right now, but just a quick couple of plugs here. I do have a YouTube channel separately. You may know me from the Matt Wiener Cinematic
The
Universe.
Wonder Wiener and the Colossal Cobb coming at you.
No Stone Cold Coley here, but we're putting aside our differences in our fictional universe to make things a reality on this channel.
Indeed we are,
so
aren't we, Matt?
We're excited about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You might see me on my TikTok, MattBallTV, but other than that, we'll get going here. We got some good stuff planned for today, but we'll talk more about the schedule another time because that's a whole different complicated thing. But what you need to know right now, this is our first periodic episode of the weekly WWE review, where we go into Monday Night Raw, we go into Friday Night Smackdown, and we talk it out.
We talk it out, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone who's watching this, old, young, middle age, doesn't matter what you are. We are coming at you with the hottest takes, with news information, with our opinions. They might not be perfect, but that's what makes the world go round, ladies and gentlemen. And we are excited to bring it to you every single week. And not only that, we are also going to be doing videos, unlike a podcast where we do rankings, opinions, tiers, storylines, gameplay on console. You name it, we're going to do it. But bear with us. This is just the start of a lot to come. And we will have our weekly podcast. Next week is SummerSlam.
That's right.
Might have something coming for y'all.
We're excited about that.
But we do have tons of stuff planned. So for those watching, you're in for the ride, and we are so happy to have you with us.
Absolutely. I could not have said it better myself. And the best part is we can officially start now that all the introduction stuff's out of the way. So, Hunter, let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it. Monday Night Raw. I think what we should start with is talking about the purple and black, baby. Judgment Day.
Yes, sir.
Which just seems to be the common theme of wrestling these days on Monday Night Raw.
Not only Monday Night Raw, they've made their way over to NXT on Tuesday nights. They've been dominating the NXT champion Carmelo Hayes in the same way.
And Dom was on Monday nights, Tuesday nights, and Friday night. Last week. Not this week, but last week. Dom made an appearance on all three shows.
The very first superstar to ever main event Raw, NXT, and SmackDown in the same week. And he did that in the process of being a North American champion. Monday, not even a champion. Tuesday wins the championship. Friday defends the championship, the last match of SmackDown. Truly incredible feat. But Hunter, let me ask you this first question about Dominic Mysterio.
Hit me with it.
I mean, did you ever expect to see anything like this out of Dominic Mysterio when he first came in has just Ray's son.
Ray's
baby
son. He came in clean as a baby, newborn baby, taking those whacks by Seth Rollins, and I wasn't sold. I mean, I liked Ray and him winning the tag team belts, and then they faced Usos at SummerSlam, and it was some good stuff, but it was just bland. It was, listen, you have all of that coming in, right? You have all of that weight on your shoulders. You're Rey Mysterio's son. You cannot be the same character as Rey Mysterio. It's not going to work. And he found his way. He found his calling with the Judgment Day, and he is doing some good stuff. And I never thought I would see it, but the dude is burning hot heat, like touching your bare hand on a stove.
No question about it.
It's crazy.
It takes a special type of talent for you to just raise a microphone to your mouth and get booed mercilessly. Not just for 1 week, but week in and week out. Dominic Mysterio has been doing that all summer, and even before that, starting in April. It's unreal what he's been doing. And the best part about it is you can tell he's gotten better in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's a work in progress. He's 26 years old, 27 years old. He's still got his best years ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's incredible the strides he's already made so far. And him being in the Judgment Day absolutely changed his entire career. Because being able to be coddled by Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Finn Balor, three of the best you could ask for in terms of mentors and who to work with. And he's been with them for almost a year now. So they got a lot to offer together, and I'm super excited about Dominic. But Hunt, let's talk about not the Raw Women's Champion. I almost said the Raw Women's Champion. There's been so many different championship changes the past couple of months. The WWE World Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, doesn't have an opponent at SummerSlam right now. Might change by Raw. We'll have to see. But tell me, what are your thoughts on Rhea Ripley's reign so far? And what can we expect to see if she doesn't have anything for SummerSlam?
The thing about Rhea Ripley is that she's over. She's a heel, but she's over. She is getting the pops like Roman is for... No, not like Roman is. But she's getting the fan attention, the pops.
Yeah.
She's over. People like her. Even if they boo her, they like her. She's getting the attention. But her best match, in my opinion... Well, no. She's going to come down with the best women's match of the year with Charlotte at WrestleMania. Her best reign, title reign, match has been against Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega.
I mean, I can't disagree. I think that crowd...
And I'm not dedicating that to anything but the crowd. If they did that match on a Raw, it's a squash. I mean, you're putting Natalya in this, and you're just... And Natalya's getting buried in squash. And then she's supposed to have a match with Liv right off injury. If you're trying to show that she's dominant, there's other ways to do it. People want to see her compete. Correct?
I agree.
And what do you think? Because I know we're on the same page, sort of, but I know you also have some good thoughts about Miss Rhea Ripley.
She's been a good champion. She's not been as much of a fighting champion. And that's kind of the stagnant issue with a couple of the champions in the company right now. They're not defending the title enough. And Rhea has been succumbing to that, but in the same time, like, her helping out with the Judgment Day every week has been good television, and it's been very entertaining. So, the past couple of weeks, they've been having main event matches with Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. She's been meddling, getting involved in all of that. And
Seth Rollins is also, and they're winning. They're winning as a faction. They are winning. They're winning the tag matches. The World Heavyweight Champion lost on Monday Night Raw, and then Dominic pins Sami, whatever. But it's happening. They're getting wins.
Right.
Rhea goes to NXT and wins a match. I mean, they're winning, but as Rhea as an individual, I expected more.
And I expected too. And honestly, I don't think she has a match at SummerSlam. And at this point, it's not the worst thing in the world, but they've got to pick it up after SummerSlam.
Right. And who would even be an opponent? Because you're writing Liv off. Raquel's injured.
We're not even sure if she's actually injured, right?
We don't know. And there's still 1 week. We just found out, which we'll get into, that Austin Theory versus Santos Escobar is going to be
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now. We're filming this right after Smackdown.
Not a big fan of that, but
we will get into that. But what does that mean? because you're getting the triple threat. You're getting Becky versus Trish, but what about Rhea freaking Ripley, the women's champion?
I think they're just content with her just hanging around Dom for right now. And I respect the hustle, I respect the game there, but at some point she's got to be able to develop into a different feud, and I think that time's coming.
I think it's coming, which is what I want to ask you a question now.
Go ahead.
How long until Finn gets his money? Okay, with the exception, I personally am a strong believer that Finn Balor is walking away with this World Heavyweight Championship, right? Do we agree that this is probably what's going to happen?
I think we agree on that.
So Finn wins this belt, correct? How long do you think they're going to keep the tension between Finn Balor and Damian Priest? How long until we see the cash-in?
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, because we know that when Priest does cash it in, most likely Finn Balor is going to be champion off of that. And like you said, it's a matter of when, but the theme of the Judgment Day has been longevity, you know? Because they've kept a year-long feud with Edge, no matter how awful I love Edge, I love the Judgment Day, they should not have been feuding that long. But they've changed so much since they last turned on Edge last summer. But now this storyline's really picking up. They're the hottest they've ever been right now. If Finn wins that World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam, all of them have something to their name, championship or a briefcase. So you can build off that for a couple months. But I do think around Survivor Series time, I think we're going to see a little bit more cracks between Finn and Priest. They're covered up for right now, but I think as every Monday Raw goes along, Priest is just going to get more and more hungry to cash in that briefcase, even if it's against his best friend in the Judgment Day, Finn Balor. So I'm going to give it a few months, but I'd say around Survivor Series time, so Thanksgiving weekend, I think that's when we start seeing that.
Which is probably going to lead into, hope y'all like it, a face Finn Balor versus a heel Damian Priest at WrestleMania.
That might be the long game.
I think that is the long game, and I think that is what I think I would like to see. I think I would. Now, you're going to have Roman Reigns, most likely, defending that belt in WrestleMania. Matt, how much is the difference of belts? How much is a Roman Reigns versus, let's say, Cody, right? How much does that overshadow the other main belt of Finn Balor versus Damian Priest? I'm not no shade to Finn Balor and Damian Priest. I personally love them both. But there's a level of importance of max and mid. There's going to be most likely non-title matches that people will care about more. So do we think that's going to happen?
Oh, I absolutely think it's going to happen. And that's been a company trend for years and years and years. So I was just telling you this during Smackdown. Back when they had the old World Heavyweight Championship in the late 2000s and leading into 2013 before they unified the belts, anyone who's the World Heavyweight Champion was second fiddle to the WWE Champion.
And that is no knock, because there were some good stories. I loved the Hall of Pain. I loved it.
Right.
And I was a kid growing up. I was terrified of Mark Henry. I loved the CM Punk Jeff Hardy storyline.
Right.
I love the Edge Jeff Hardy storyline. I love Batista, in my opinion, the greatest World Heavyweight Champion ever. He held the title. Great. One of the best reigns ever. I mean, he had to relinquish it due to injury. But you cannot compete with red hot CM Punk versus John Cena. At the time when that was heavily being overshadowed, you were having, that was 2011, correct me? 2011?
Yes.
And at that time, the story was, the World Heavyweight title was, 2012, the story carried on in 2012.
Right.
When it was really, Sheamus was the champion. He won WrestleMania. And then it went to, because 2011, in my opinion, 2011 was overshadowing the Christian Randy Orton storyline.
Oh, and that's kind of the thing, though. Like, Randy Orton was the World Heavyweight Champion for a long time in 2011. He didn't main event a pay-per-view.
No.
As champion.
No,
So, that's what it boils back to, though. Because we know Roman's top guy right now. But it is up to the talent, I'll say this. They might not get the best place in the card. It is up to the talent to make it seem like they deserve it. And it depends on what they do in television. And again, that's
absolutely.
a long game.
Absolutely. You bring back the belt, obviously, so you can have two brands. And another guy, because Roman's the guy. But I hope that the Judgment Day storyline can prevail Finn into what we want it to be.
Yeah, and I think it will. It's just going to take some time. and that's why we watch every week, because you never
Right.
know. But I think that's where they're headed, and it will be very entertaining. So let me ask you this: speaking of things that might get overshadowed, at SummerSlam, it might be a triple main event again. They're not calling it that like they did at Money in the Bank, which I appreciate. But another thing that's been going on Monday Night Raw, the rivalry between Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. These guys have just been at each other's throats. I mean, Brock is only there every other week, but when he's there, he causes absolute chaos. He literally F5 Cody Rhodes in front of his mom.
From his mom, which is obviously a story we're kind of following, because I heard more about Cody's mom than I've heard about a lot of things recently.
Right? How do you come back from that as a man if you get F5 in front of your mom? There's no time to talk about it. But what we should talk about is next week going into Raw. Do we think they're going to add a stipulation to their match at SummerSlam? Should there be one? Do you have one in mind?
Oh yeah. See, this is what I think. Okay, there's some matches like Trish and Becky Lynch, and they're not. They're just saying it's a singles match, right? But we keep hearing over and over again, we don't know the stipulation. Well, that's because next week on Monday Night Raw, we will find out that there will be a stipulation. And spoiler alert, I think it's going to be a 3 Stages of Hell.
3 Stages of Hell.
Which is exactly what you should do. You're having two guys who put up two pretty good matches, in my opinion. Cody and Brock. What could go wrong? Obviously, Brock likes working Cody. You can tell.
Yeah.
And now you are putting them in this stage, and it's SummerSlam, and 3 Stages of Hell hasn't been around for many, many years.
I think, what was it? John Cena versus Ryback in 2013?
They had a 3 Stages of Hell? I thought the last one may have been, I think it was it Trips and Randy? Or is it?
I think that was before.
Oh,
John Cena definitely, if it wasn't Ryback, it was definitely
yeah.
somebody. But
Okay.
So let me ask you this. What are the 3 Stages of Hell that you would put these two in? Because we've seen blood, we've seen a broken arm, like Cody's been selling at his wife's wedding and everything. So what kind of 3 matches would end this rivalry once and for all? Hopefully.
Okay. Pretend that I am sitting in a chair for Triple H. I am Triple H. Obviously not, but I am Triple H in this scenario.
Now you look like Triple H, enough. Long hair.
Appreciate that, man. But we're here, right? Obviously I could be wrong. Obviously I could go last man standing. I quit. They could do anything. I'm sitting here right now, and I'm booking it. I'm saying 3 Stages of Hell. You're tied 1-1. This is one of the most heated rivalries, like blood. It's been going on for a while. You got Brock, who's a killer, Cody, who's relentlessly a killer in his own way.
Right.
You give him a 3 Stages of Hell. First match, submission match. You got to give Brock the pinfall, in my opinion. You got to go 3.
Yeah.
And the only way Brock can beat Cody is submission match. Cody tries, grapples with him. You're not going to submit a UFC champion. He gets the Kimura, taps him out. Early down for the babyface hero. And then I think we do a street fight after that.
Street fight, yeah.
You go all around the stadium. Cody does some kind of hold Brock down, like ties, some kind of shenanigans to get the roll up pinfall, in my opinion. And then you end it with Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell.
You end the match with a Hell in a Cell. The submission match, I think it'll only go 4 minutes. I think it should be a quick. The street fight about 10, and then you give them 20 minutes in that damn Hell in a Cell.
Oh my god. That'd be an incredible combination.
I think that's perfect.
And what I like about that is that you're picking up the intensity of every stage of Hell, which is important because that's how you build the excitement for matches like that. I think that's great. Now, me, on the other hand, their kind of match, I heard things about like a Texas bull rope match. I heard like a strap match. I don't know. I think you just let them have no holds barred and see what happens, but your idea is much more exciting than mine, as we can tell.
Okay, no holds barred. They would go for 25 minutes killing each other.
Oh, no question.
It would be about as entertaining, but I haven't seen 3 Stages of Hell in a long time.
Right.
I don't know what we will get as a 3 Stages of Hell in the future. I think you have it. Smash it.
Right.
And end that in a Hell in a Cell. You have the most heated rivalries for Hell in a Cell. Let them compete in Hell in a Cell as the third match. And I think Cody should win.
Yeah.
I don't see Brock winning it. If Brock wins it, what are you doing?
I know.
Does Brock need it?
The whole premise of this rivalry started for no explained reason. It's just Brock.
Jesus. Brock came out F5 after WrestleMania. Brock's an 11-time world champion. Brock's a 2-time Royal Rumble. Brock's won the Money in Bank. Brock's been a UFC champion. Brock's played in the NFL. Brock's main evented more WrestleManias than years I've been out of middle school. Like,
It's true.
I'm 20, okay? Brock, I've seen him face Roman 3 or 4 times in the main event of WrestleMania.
Oh, golly.
I've seen him. Guys, Cody needs to win it. Cody needs another story, which is, the rumor is, which I want to ask you. We always hear, I've been hearing this since he left the company. He's going to return here. He returned, and then he left again for whatever reason. I'm not a doctor. Matt, do you want to see, and do you think that Cody Rhodes is going to win this match, and he is going to have a feud with the Fiend Bray Wyatt?
Oh, the Fiend. I've always had a problem with the Fiend, and my problem is that he books himself to be so supernatural that he kicks out of almost everything. And honestly, I got pretty sick of it after the Hell in a Cell match with 15 curb stomps he kicked out of, and that whole ending was another thing by itself. But the way he's been booked has been so strong. I don't see a way that Cody can like overcome that. But if it's like the Bray Wyatt we've seen when he came back at Extreme Rules last year, it's a different story. You know, he comes to the door. He's got some power. He's got Uncle Howdy, whatever. I kind of want to see the shit show. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it would be pretty crazy.
Guys, this is me speaking to all of you. We can say what we want about Bray Wyatt, but if we're watching this Brock Lesnar match and Cody pins him, adrenaline in my soul, and then you just see the music stop, okay, and then you see some damn puppet on a big mega screen, and then you see the lights go out. If you don't mark out with me, you're not a real fan, okay?
Right. Tell us it's not one of the funniest things you'll see all year.
Okay, it would be good too, because if you want the best feud for Bray Wyatt to come back, and you want to see Bray at max potential, you let him have weekly promos with Cody, mind games, and you put him against one of the best wrestlers on the planet, and you let him, I guess, carry you through a match. But the thing is, Bray can compete with him on the mic. And Bray and Cody's minds can come together to give us some of the best stuff. I would love to see it. And I think that is the answer. Bray was supposed to come back against the winner of Bobby and Brock. He was supposed to have a match with Bobby Lesnar.
Bobby
Lashley at WrestleMania. It didn't happen. He's injured, whatever's going on. You bring him back against Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. You have that as the big return.
Right.
And you have a feud between Cody Rhodes and Bray Wyatt that leads for a few months.
Could be something to look out for.
Now, that is if Cody Rhodes is going to be the one to take the belt off Roman Reigns, which I think he will. What do you think?
I agree. But we'll have to save that for our WrestleMania predictions, because I don't think we'll have a match until WrestleMania. Golly. We'll get to Roman soon enough. But I think there's one more thing I want to talk about here on Raw. You know, we could talk about Sami and KO, but unfortunately Kevin Owens did get hurt last week, and it's a real shame. And we hope to see him get healthy and get better soon enough. But we don't really know what's going to happen with the tag team title scene regardless, but I think we should talk about this instead. We should talk about the little rivalry going on here. The Intercontinental Championship on the line at SummerSlam. It will be Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. But this past Monday, it was Drew versus Ludwig Kaiser in a pretty damn good match.
The Ring General.
Yes. And, I mean, after the match, McIntyre obviously won. He had to. He gave Gunther one of the stiffest powerbombs to the table we've ever seen. Like, it was crazy how it broke. So, Hunter, I'll ask you this question. In preparation for SummerSlam here, not only does Gunther have to worry about the Scottish Warrior, he also has to worry about his own teammates imploding, cracking up right there. But he's on pace to become the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. He's only a couple months away. So, I won't ask this as a SummerSlam prediction. I will say this. How does he get the momentum back next week on Raw?
Well, my answer kind of leads into a little, look, y'all. Drew McIntyre was not brought back to lose. Okay. You don't bring back someone on that caliber from a return who's already got pinned clean. He was the one who got pinned at WrestleMania by Walter, a.k.a. Gunther. Because I like to call him Walter. I'm still about petty about that.
You're still on the Walter train.
But I'll call him Gunther.
You're not alone.
Listen, y'all. If he does win this in this scenario, congratulations. He's a megastar. He's amazing. He's the best in ring in my opinion. And then Cody, you're up there. If he wins this match and he wins And he's going to hold it for however long, blah, blah, blah. But how he gets the momentum back? Well, I think he takes Drew to Chop City. I think they triple team him. I think they abuse him. We've seen Drew get abused when he got abused by Roman in the kendo stick. The bloodline messed him up. Drew's okay for a story to take an ass whooping, and I think that Gunther and the Imperium will chop him the hell up.
Is it bad that I kind of want to see that? And I'm one of the biggest Drew McIntyre
This is the
fans
biggest
known,
Drew McIntyre fan I know.
But Gunther's chops are unreal. And it would be crazy if, like, Kaiser and Vinci just hold down Drew, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you've given me some pretty hard chops, but... I mean,
if you want to see some real chops,
go to the
Matt Wiener Wrestling, boys.
It was the Matt Wiener Cinematic Universe where that big hand of his just crushed my chest.
Y'all, I'm 6'8". If you didn't know, we probably look similar. I'm a big boy. I'm 6'8". I got huge hands. Okay, let's not plug the Colossal Copy. Let's focus on Drew McIntyre getting chopped. But I'll tell you one thing, and Matt can agree. We talked about this when we watched Raw together. Drew McIntyre has some of the most ferocious chops, too.
Oh, yeah.
He hits the shit out of people.
What I love is that it's all these European guys know how to throw a good chop. You don't really see someone who's not American in the WWE.
You don't see Roman throwing chops
right.
and stuff. You know, that's like a European hard wrestling style, stiff.
It's a culture thing, and you can tell. Like Sheamus will do it.
Sheamus, Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll mess you up.
When he gets to the main roster, we could just have a fatal 4-way between all 4 of them, and it could just be like a competition to see whose chest gets.
Y'all, I promise you, if they put Ilya Dragunov, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Walt up, Gunther. Since we're on a podcast, I have to say Gunther.
The Ring General.
In a fatal 4-way match, y'all. I'm telling you, it'd be the greatest thing you've ever watched.
Just wait, and just like that, I mean, Raw was pretty good this week. And we just got finished watching Friday Night Smackdown, Hunter. We've had our mixed opinions on it. The one thing we need to start off with right off the bat, everybody saw it. It was the opening match of the night. Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio. They went closer to 15 minutes. They went to commercial. Santos Escobar hit a suicide dive and Rey's head snapped back. They went to commercial. When they came back, they called the match off. Gave Santos the win, said Rey was no longer able to compete. Hunter, I mean, I'm still very confused at how all this went down. He will be facing Austin Theory in 2 weeks for the United States Championship, which is stupid. It should either be next week or on SummerSlam. The fact the match is not on SummerSlam weekend is pretty ridiculous. Big Austin Theory guy here. I'll have to save that for another podcast, because it's always a town down, my friends. I'll have to save that for another time, but... Let's talk about the match, the ending specifically. Do we think that injury was planned or not? Because I still don't know.
We're sitting here,
We're
right?
speechless. We don't know.
I'm speechless because we're sitting on a commercial break, and me and Matt are talking. We're like, who do you think's the one? I said, we both agreed that Rey Mysterio should get his moment in the sun, another SummerSlam big card match, and the mentor should beat the newcomer. And we also had a feeling that Santos Escobar, who's playing the heel in the match, potentially was going to turn heel. Now, we also thought that since Santos Escobar and Austin Theory had a match last week, that we assumed that we wouldn't get it again. We were wrong.
Boy, were we wrong.
The injury, I think it was planned. I don't want to think that, but I do think that there is a good chance it was planned. If it wasn't planned, Rey Mysterio, you're a legend, and I hate that.
I hope he's just okay at this point.
The timing was not good for it to be unscripted.
Right.
It seemed scripted, but I could see it being real.
They showed the replay so much in their Twitter account. WWE on Fox posted it. So that kind of leads me to believe, like, yeah, this is planned, but it's very impressive how they pulled it off if this was legit. This is a professional company. They know what to do, and the way they addressed it was really good, and they still suspended the audience's belief, which is, at the end of the day, as an entertainment company, sports entertainment company, that's what you want to see. So, if Ray's still hurt, if Ray's actually hurt legit, we hope you get better, man. We love you. We've watched you since we were kids, but But we will get Santos versus Austin Theory. United States Championship picture is just all up in smoke. Yeah, we're still upset it's in 2 weeks.
It's in 2 weeks. You couldn't even... Okay, I want to ask you a question. This is a little off topic, but it's on topic at the same time.
Okay.
This guy's a big Austin Theory guy. He's just new. Is it him, or are they booking him into a hole? Because you already got this narrative that the Intercontinental Championship is here and the United States Championship here.
Mm-hmm.
Is it... And they obviously are treating the Intercontinental Championship like it is a high-tier mid-card, and you're treating the United States title like it's a low-tier mid-card. So my question to you is, why? And what? Is it theory, or is it booking, and how do you fix it?
It's a booking thing. And you can tell right off the bat, because everybody will agree with me, ever since the match at WrestleMania with John Cena, Austin Theory has had no longer than a 2-week feud with anybody. No feud that leads to a pay-per-view.
Besides Sheamus, but
even
that
then,
was just...
That wasn't even a straight feud. It was a week interrupted in the process. Like, they didn't even do anything for a week. Even that, it's just been some one-off championship matches. Ridge Holland. That was a championship contenders match.
This was basically a squash.
Right.
Y'all. Rey Mysterio.
Jey Uso on the lead up to Money in the Bank. And then Sheamus a couple of times. I mean, the dude hasn't had a solid feud. When he won the championship Survivor Series, he had feuds all around. He had Bobby, he had Seth. He went into the Royal Rumble. He was facing. He didn't have a feud because he went to the Royal Rumble match, and he was focused on
top 5, top 6, top 5.
Yeah, he did pretty good. He did pretty good in the match. So, and then you got to lead into John Cena. Ever since then, he hasn't had a feud. Gunther, if he's had a match on a premium live event, he's had 3-4 weeks with this guy to prepare. Theory has not had that, and so the way to fix it is you give him a feud, and believe this, United States Championship match on a premium live event. Crazy concept to Triple H, apparently.
Yeah. Is it Shinsuke as our champ, or is it Austin Theory? Because I want to see the belt defended on a premium event, and I want to see a storyline.
Right.
And another thing I want to ask you is, why would they pair Austin Theory and Pretty Deadly together? And where the heck's Pretty Deadly? And where's Austin Theory when Pretty Deadly's on TV? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I think they're missing... I think the key right now is that Elton Prince has that separated shoulder. But they were on last week with the wheelchair, and it was really funny. They rolled him out in the wheelchair, but they have won a couple 6-man tags together against the Brawling Brutes. They can be a great combination together. So I wonder once Pretty Deadly gets healthy again if they'll continue that. But I'm not sure if they want to, if Theory's not going to be champion at that point.
It just... I don't know. It's just weird to me.
It
feels forced, though it's... I don't think Triple H knows what to do with Austin Theory.
It's very apparent, and you can see it just by looking at the product.
And it's crazy because if they really didn't want him champion, why is he champion?
Right.
You could have had Sheamus beat him at Madison Square Garden and be a filler champion and lose at SummerSlam. There is so many talent and there's so many options. If you aren't sold on the guy, drop the belt. But stop not defending the belt on premium events.
Right, and that's something he's got to figure out on his own right. We'll see what happens in 2 weeks. Maybe a championship loss would be good for Theory. Personally, I wouldn't want to see it, but I understand. He just has a lot of work to do, but it's not really his fault. So, leading off again into SmackDown here, here's a guy who was in the United States Championship Eliminator. Here's a guy who's been getting... If it's not Roman Reigns, it's LA Knight getting all of the loud reactions. LA Knight, we just saw on SmackDown, he will be a part of the SummerSlam Battle Royal presented by Slim Jim.
Make sure you mention presented by Slim Jim. What is with LA Knight in these freaking product matches? I mean,
I don't know.
You couldn't get a Bray Wyatt match without a Mountain Dew.
Right.
And then now he's facing Slim Jim. I mean, better give him a life supply of Slim Jims because LA Knight's going to win the match, and LA Knight is, yeah. That's all I have to say.
I mean,
yeah.
With LA, yeah. Should we just talk the rest of the podcast? Just yeah. But regardless of that, I mean, LA Knight was in a couple of commercials before coming to the WWE, so he's pretty good with product placement. So it might be a little bit of correlation.
First, third, fourth, fifth merch. It's different color LA Knight t-shirts, y'all. we're going to make a whole video
We will.
of what we should book LA Knight. We both have our opinions, but that's coming soon, isn't it?
Dude is hot as ever right now, and like you said, we could have a whole episode. That was a mosquito. We could have a whole episode about LA Knight, and we will.
We will.
One thing I will say about LA Knight before we continue on in this podcast here, the man is red hot. Can we get him a couple wins? It doesn't have to be, well, a win that's not against Hit Row. I'll say that. Because that match, we had over-under of 3 minutes against Ashante.
Matt won because he went under. I thought they would give LA Knight a longer match.
It was just under 3 minutes, and it was very damn entertaining with Top Dollar getting hit, and then it was a new kind of BFT. It kind of looked more like an RKO rather compared to like a...
He didn't go on his knee, did he? He went flat.
No, he went flat, so it kind of looked like an RKO, but the whole arena was screaming, and if we get more of that, ideally not against Hit Row, some tougher opponents. I mean, he has Sheamus next week. That could be a huge opportunity to get a win there. But
and I love Sheamus. Matt loves Sheamus. We all love Sheamus, but Sheamus doesn't need this win. LA Knight needs to pin Sheamus clean, and then he needs to go win this Battle Royal. I think LA Knight, well, I don't want to give away, but I will say, I want to see LA Knight win the Royal Rumble. Yeah. If LA Knight can get hotter and hotter every single week, he could be the one to dethrone Roman. And I'm telling you that it would be the biggest pop ever.
Could be one hell of a pop, and that is super exciting. We're going to let the fans sit on that. We're gonna let
they can sit. If you're watching and you hear that, I will argue to the moon and back with you.
Yes, he's pretty good at it. But regardless, wins or losses, everybody knows whose game it is, and it's LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, moving on SmackDown, we're going to talk about the Women's Championship, the undisputed Women's Championship picture. Now, Hunter and I went to SmackDown a couple of weeks back, and our main event was Asuka versus Bianca Belair for the championship. Good match, and as you could expect, Charlotte Flair did in fact get involved, which then resulted in SummerSlam match getting announced that the week after, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Asuka, triple threat for the Women's Championship. Hunter, strictly on TV alone, this match has been built underwhelmingly, and I don't think it's an understatement to say that. What do we think the end game is here now? Because me personally, I think it's just another way for Charlotte to get another Women's Championship, just because that's all she can do. She can't do anything outside of the title picture, and it's been made very apparent every single week on SmackDown. What are we looking at here when we see this feud between all three of them?
Look, y'all. It's supposed to be a triple threat match, but your champion's not on TV, all right? Why let Asuka win the belt if the storyline's based on Bianca Charlotte? We get it. We will see Bianca versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. Okay? We understand what you're trying to do. I'm not the biggest Asuka fan in the world, but if you're going to have someone be the champion and you want to portray the fans and make the fans believe it, you got to let her be on TV. It shouldn't be Bianca and Charlotte in a tag team match. It should be Asuka out there, at least ringside. What are you doing? She gets one backstage promo with Io Sky. And I'm not even going to get into it because I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, we weren't a big fan of that backstage.
Bayley's, bless her heart, is doing everything she can. and
she has to deal with a psycho in the process.
Look, guys.
If you ever drive a girl so insane that she shaves off her head,
I mean, how could you shave hair off? Like, she's on there, she's like cutting her hair, and
I would simply move to another country. Dealing with that.
The best part, please rewatch that promo and look at the poster left in Bayley's backpack. It is green feathers.
It's not even.
You can see it flying off the thing. It comes off. It's not even the hair.
Yeah,
it's bad, y'all. And you can tell how much they're focused on the men and the women, unless your name is Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair.
Right. Maybe
from SmackDown.
Maybe one of the women should just attach themselves to the bloodline, like Rhea Ripley did in the Judgment Day, because then that way they'll get more TV time, they get more involved.
They missed that gun with Naomi. She's in now TNA.
Yeah, I know. No. The gun's still there. Charlotte Flair and the Bloodline.
Guys, if Charlotte Flair joins the Bloodline because her last name's Flair, woo!
There's some championship gold in there.
There's some. She will never lose a belt, and she'll become a 32-time before we get who breaks Ric Flair's record. All right, so Charlotte Flair. No.
I can't disagree with that.
And as for the SmackDown's women's division, it's to me, you have to build over people, right? You gave Io Sky Money in the Bank, right? And she's doing what she should do. She's leaving us on the edge of the seat when she's going to cash in. Bayley's killing it on the mic. She's doing her role great. And then, other than that, you're focusing every TV on Bianca and Charlotte, and your champs never come out. How do you feel that Asuka got a backstage promo, and literally when we were there in Raleigh watching SmackDown, she didn't even come out for the Bianca Charlotte promo that kicked the show off, y'all.
The problem with Asuka is that I've noticed this in every single reign she's had on the main roster. She always gets overshadowed by her opponents.
Yeah.
And this is going to continue on because we are looking at the top 3 in the SmackDown Women's Division right now. And I don't think there's a question about it. So this is the climax of the Women's Division. Because now they have to decide who they're going to build up after, well, we think Charlotte's going to win the belt. So maybe Asuka retains. Who are they going to build up in this process to continue on? Because we have zero idea right now. Because if you're a woman and you're not involved in the title picture, you're not on TV. And that's just on SmackDown. That's just the solid truth. Mm-hmm. On Raw, they have Becky and Trish. And they have, not to point to NXT, they have like 6 different women's feuds going on right now.
Ronda, Shayna.
Yeah, Ronda, Shayna.
Which we forgot to talk about, but...
And honestly, it...
What is there to talk about, y'all?
Exactly.
We knew this feud was coming.
Right. We can also save that for SummerSlam predictions because,
next
we don't
week.
have all that much to say exactly. Get ready. Y'all getting some good content.
And we're also going to save our analysis on Trish and Becky for SummerSlam predictions, too.
Yeah.
We're not even going to get into that. What's her name? Ludwig? What? That Viking Raider chick?
Valhalla.
Sarah Logan?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
Valhalla, I don't give a crap. We're not going to talk about that.
You know who we do give a crap about?
Maxine
Dupree. Yes, sir. Okay, let's put those hands away. As we move on to the last segment on our weekly review.
Wait. I know you're trying to forget about it. Karrion Kross.
No.
And Carl Anderson, baby.
Why are we talking?
I knew you were going to try to skip it, and I was not going to let you skip it. I'm not a Karrion Kross fan, and I could care less to watch Carl Anderson wrestle, but they put on the best 2-minute, 45-second match I've ever seen.
It was mid. It wasn't bad.
I'm just messing, y'all.
It wasn't good. It was mid. And that's honest truth. Because it was the same formula. Scarlett gets involved. Kross takes over. Okay, that new finisher, by the way, there's no reason for the pump handle. If you put some on the shoulder for the power slam.
But what about the cross hammer?
I actually like that better because it's very simple, and I didn't mind that.
Kross has the look of someone that should do it, and he take the armband off. Okay, I want to criticize this feud.
Thank you.
I'm happy. I know you agree that AJ Styles is on TV and he's doing something, y'all. Okay, you're getting the OC in there and Misha. I could care less about her.
Respect.
Go to AEW. Go be with Keith Lee. Anyways. Sorry, she's watching this.
She joined here after.
Yeah, okay.
It's whatever.
Union, you have Carl Anderson, right? Who's saying, he goes to AJ in the back, he goes, I don't want any help.
The stupidest thing you could
say. Okay. First of all, you were one of 3 people to be attacked.
Right. It was a 2-on-1 a couple weeks ago, and you got bullied.
Luke Gallows also got attacked. So why? Why would you say no to them to come out? You come out and you get a minute of offense, you get squashed. I get it. If you're going out there for a 10-minute match, maybe make it look like you're worth something. But you go out there and get squashed. And then, of course, they wait until he starts getting his ass kicked to come out there and do something about it.
And then there's always the invisible force field. AJ almost had him. And then in the ring.
And we've seen AJ springboard over 1,000 times. You know it. Yeah, I hear you, AJ. That's what was he saying? He said, "Are you watching, AJ?" Karrion Kross is, I like him as a person, and I think he has potential, but he doesn't. I want you to speak on that.
Every clip I've ever seen of Karrion Kross that's not on WWE camera, I have come to love, and I enjoy him as a person. But oh my god, every time he's on WWE television, it's like he flips a switch, and I want to go to sleep. It's not with the damn cross jacket, because he's just missing something. I can't tell what it is, but it's just a totally different person, and I can't believe we're actually talking about him.
I made sure you were not skipping.
I was very willing to skip it.
You were not
close.
skipping.
We were close. We were this close.
I made sure you remembered, but we can move on now to what you probably all, besides LA Knight, want to hear about, which is the Bloodline. And Matt, I want to ask you this question on what? Like, I don't want to spoil predictions or anything, but
we've spoiled like half our predictions.
What is going on and what's going to happen? Because right now, I like, there's so much to this, guys. There's layers. There's so many layers to this. There's layers to the story. There are so many possibilities of what could happen. You don't know who's coming out for SummerSlam, because Grayson Waller's teasing The Rock, right? By the way,
okay.
What happened was Uso and Grayson Waller had a backstage main event.
Oh, okay, but that uppercut was great.
Yeah, he was.
It was good. It was a good uppercut. I enjoyed it.
Matt,
what you got for me?
What are you expecting from this, and what is your opinions on this? Like, what? Okay, don't spoil what you think's going to happen, but are we going to see the same people? Are we going to see Jimmy? Are we going to see Dwayne, The Rock? And what are your thoughts on the ending of SmackDown and the beginning of SmackDown?
When it comes to SummerSlam, I'll keep it short. We will see Jimmy, and he's not there to turn on his brother. And I will say that. As for the show on SmackDown, I think the beginning was nice. Mm-hmm. I think Jay and Roman had a nice back and forth going there.
He went. That's what he did to him. And you saw Roman going. He was mean mugging them. You knew he was going to come out at the end of the show and kick his ass.
Oh, my God.
You didn't even have to know he's wrestling Waller. Uso was going to find a way back out there to get shredded. Now, he did have some offense, but he did end up getting.
Okay, but his spear was pretty good.
It was a great spear. The spear kicked ass.
It was. I was just telling Hunter this. I went to SmackDown in February. Mm-hmm. The week after the Royal Rumble, Sami Zayn hit his spear on Roman, and then he got beat up by Solo and Jimmy. But no Jimmy this time, and they just took over from there. But we were just talking about the Samoan Spike spear combo. It's a damn good finisher.
It is a damn good finisher. It is. It made me think, what if Umaga and Edge made a tag team in 2007?
Golly. Well, then we can get out rated RKO.
Rated Samoan, baby.
Oh, Samoan, or I don't know.
All right, but
Rated
listen,
Samoan.
y'all. Listen. I like what Matt said. I think it was good stuff, and I think that was the right thing to do. You're still building Jay as a main event Jay. You're getting people believing that he is going to beat Roman, and you are making this no DQ. There are so many layers to this, y'all. Anything can happen. I don't even know who's going to win. I mean, I have my opinions, which I'm saving, but it's good. It's damn good. And it's damn true that this is going to be a hell of a main event, and I can't wait. And I can't wait to watch the last Friday night episode. Jay's special, Roman's special, this story is special, and dude, I'm losing sleep already over it.
I mean, me too. By far, what everybody says on social media, it's true. It's cinema. It's must-watch TV. Mm-hmm. And WWE hasn't had a storyline like this, so unique, that makes you feel like you have to set up appointment television to watch it. That it had such a huge impact on the world of wrestling as a whole. And us too, we are just two of many that are just soaking in and enjoying it every single week. And when it comes to a head at SummerSlam, it's going to be war. It's going to be brotherly
tribal combat. I can't wait. And is the one thing that everyone can agree on, is that the bloodline is a blessing. Enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy this story while it's here. Everything comes to an end. It will come to an end. Roman will leave WWE for a while. The Usos will be a normal tag team again. Enjoy it, y'all, because this has been special, and I cannot wait to watch this main event. We are blessed. Wrestling is good right now, and this is making it amazing.
I agree. Could not have said it better myself. And speaking of special, that will be the end of our first episode, our first weekly review here on the Beach Bros Wrestling Podcast.
Beach Bros Wrestling Podcast. Bbwp.
Baby.
I just want to say, if you made it this point, from me and Matt, thank you. And we will make a video in a year from now with this exact quote right here in this horrible setup that we're in, and it's only going to grow. Right, we have a foundation, and you're watching this. I can't appreciate more, but ride with us, trust us. Podcast, videos, updates, hot takes, recaps, predictions, gameplay on console. We're doing it all. We're wrestling too. We're putting our all into this. We're both full-time college students, and Matt can agree. We are going to really work for this, and it's both a dream of ours.
We have it all. We have what it takes, and we're going to put in the effort. So if you're with us, we're with you. And that's all we can ask for. Pound it. So thank you very much for joining us here for our first weekly review, our first video on the channel. Remember, this is just the first of many. And we'll see you next time on the Beach Bros Wrestling Podcast.